Hey guys, come on downstairs. We are bringing a little Minnesota Twins baseball to you today. It is Season 4, Games 42 through 44. It is a home series against the Kansas City Royals. So we come into this series. Well, we're gonna start it off with going over a series with the Houston Astros, which we come into at 16-22. And the first game of the series, the Astros just take us to task. 12-1 the final score from Target Field. George Springer, player of the game, was 2 for 3 with a home run and a double. For us, Byron Buxton went 3 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Miguel Sano went 0 for 3. Albert Fielder for the Astros went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Tony Kemp 3 for 6. And the Astros get the 12-1 victory in the first game of this series. So we fall to 16-23. The second game of the series, game number 40 on the season, pits Jose De Leon against Carlos Rodon. Rodon has an ERA of 6.55, so you got to believe that we can score some runs, but we don't score a lot of them. But we do end up with the victory. A 2-1 win over the Astros in game number 2 ties up the season series, a season series that will end fairly quickly because we have 3 games with the Royals and then followed that up with a 4-game series against the same Houston Astros. So the player of the game was Jose De Leon. He went 5 2/3 innings, giving up 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, 1 earned run, and a walk in the Twins' victory. The rubber match, game number 41. Kyle Gibson against Colin McHugh. And the Astros beat us 4-1 to take a 2-1 series lead in game number 41. We fall to 17-24. You look at the AL Central standings, the Tigers lead the division at 25-15. The Indians, the White Sox, the Royals, and then we bring up the rear. Colin McHugh was the player of the game in this one. 7 innings, 7 hits, 8 strikeouts, 1 earned run, no walks on the day. For us, Eddie Rosario went 2 for 4 and scored a run. Jace Peterson had a triple on the day for us. So we're going to move into the Kansas City Royals series now. Kyle Zimmer will be facing Alex Wood. The Royals are 19-20. We are 17-24. This is game number 42 from Target Field. We finish up this homestand against the division rival Royals. Alex Wood takes the hill in this one. 4.66 ERA, 2-5 record, 38 2/3 innings. He's given up 56 hits and 10 walks, though, which is a 1.71 whip, and that is too high for our liking. Kyle Zimmer, 5-1 record, a 3.56 ERA, a solid 1.37 whip. Nothing spectacular from him this year, but very solid. And any rotation would like to have those numbers from their middle of the rotation guys. Will Myers to lead things off here in the third now. Lead the highlights off, I should say. And Emilio Bonifacio gets gunned down at third. That's a strike him out, throw him out double play that kills the rally for the Twins. No score now as we move on to the 6th inning. Eric Hosmer at the plate. Here's the delivery from Wood. Hosmer drives it deep to right field. That one is going to clank off the wall and two-hop to Jeff Mitchelltree, I think, out there in right. And the 20-game hitting streak alive and well for Eric Hosmer. Here is Jed Jerko now. Jerko drives this one deep to left. That one could be off the wall. A running attempt not made right up against the wall. Runs are going to score. One has already crossed the plate. The second one as well. And Jerko has himself a 2 RBI double. And that'll chase Alex Wood from the game and bring on Jenmar Gomez. Runners on first and second. This one's going to split the gap in left center field. That was the shortstop Doyle. 1 run will come in to score. It's 3-0 Royals. And another one will come in to score as well. It's 4-0 Kansas City. Greg Doyle with the 2-run double. Twins would get out of the inning, but a 4 spot put up by the Royals. We move on to the 7th inning now. Joakim Soria in with 3.65 ERA. He is going to face Byron Buxton, 255 hitter with a pair of home runs, 10 RBIs on the year. Bases juiced, and Buxton with 2 outs swings and misses at what would have been ball 4 and would have walked in a run. So the Twins scatters 6 hits, unable to score a run. Wade Davis on now. 11 saves on the year for him, a 1.32 ERA. And he will be facing Will Myers here in the bottom of the ninth with runners on first and second. And a full count, runners on the move with the pitch, and Will Myers swings underneath it. And that is the ball game. Kansas City comes in, wins game number 1, sends the Twins to their 3rd loss in the last 4 games. 4-0 win. The Twins still lead the season series 3-2. Kyle Zimmer is your player of the game, giving up 6 hits, having 4 strikeouts, no runs, and 1 walk in 6 2/3 innings pitched. Nicholas Castellanos 3 for 4 with a double for the Royals. Hosmer 1 for 4 with a double. Greg Doyle, the shortstop, 2 for 4 with a double, and Jed Jerko 1 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. So that is game number 42. We fall to 8 games below 500 and falling further and further behind the first place Tigers, who stay at 25-15. Game number 43, the middle game of this 3-game series, pits Andrew Haney against Jose Barrios. Barrios 1-3, a 3.27 ERA, not getting a lot of run support this year. And Andrew Haney, a high 8.03 ERA in 37 innings. He's given up 42 hits, a 1.49 whip, and he is 2-4. So you got to believe that we can score some runs against Andrew Haney. He is a lefty, though, and we do struggle against lefties with our lineup. Jose Barrios, our lineup being lefty-heavy lineup for the most part. Alex Gordon now. So we get some highlights underway. This is the top of the 4th inning with no score and a runner on second. And Gordon grounds it past the shortstop into left field. Runner rounding third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's not in time. And Alex Gordon picks up RBI number 13 on the year. First run of the game puts the Royals up 1-0. And here is Eric Hosmer sitting on that 20-game hitting streak and make it 21. A 2-run home run for Haas. And just like that, it is 3-0, and Barrios giving up a couple of big hits here in this 4th inning. No outs yet, but he would settle down and retire the side after that. 3-0 Kansas City as we go to the 5th inning. Trevor May coming on to replace Barrios. 2.84 ERA. He's going to face Eric Hosmer, who's been awfully hot. He's a .351 hitter. The bases are loaded, and a huge strikeout by Trevor May on the changeup. So the bases loaded still with 2 outs. And this one is driven into center field. Byron Buxton drifting over will make the play in the gap for out number 3. So Trevor May comes in, keeps it a 3-run ball game, keeps the Twins in the game. We go to the 7th inning now. John Ryan Murphy at the plate, .213 average, 1 home run and 4 RBIs. Here is the windup, the delivery, fly ball into center field. That one is drifting back of the track. At the wall, it's gone! It looked like a routine fly ball. And it was completely misplayed. I don't know if it got up in the jet string, but the center fielder was just kind of drifting in like it was going to be a can of corn. And then it just kept going back and back. Ball game ends, though, at 3-1. Kansas City with their 2nd win in a row in this series, and that ties up the season series at 3 games apiece. Andrew Haney goes 7 innings, giving up 4 hits, 7 strikeouts, 1 earned run, and a walk on the day. The Tigers win again. They are 26-15, and we are 17-26 now. So we are a 10 games behind them? Solid 10 games behind the Tigers already out of the gate, and we are just heading into game number 44. Can we salvage a final game of this series? Mike Minor, the lefty, another lefty, going up against Alex Meyer. Last outing, Alex Meyer did not go well for him. That is the one where the Astros scored 12 runs against us. So Meyer is looking to rebound from that. And Mike Minor, a 3.47 ERA, a 1.46 whip. And Alex Meyer, a 5.56 ERA and a 1.65 whip. Meyer pitched all season in the rotation for us last year and had like a 3.63 ERA or something, so he is struggling this year. Bottom of the first inning, Eduardo Nunez on, runner going, and it's Byron Buxton who steals the base. And that is noteworthy because that is just the 5th stolen base this season for our club. And we are dead last in baseball, and we got to get better at stealing bases because that's going to be an important part of winning ball games going forward. So Byron Buxton on third now with 2 outs. Jace Peterson lifts one into left, and the catch will be made by, I believe that's Alex Gordon out there. Into the first inning, no score, but we have a stolen base, number 5 on the year for us. Third inning, Corey Spangenberg has not played in either of the first 2 games of this series. With runners on first and second and 2 outs, Spangenberg drives it deep right center field. That one hits the base of the wall. 1 run's going to score. Second one is being held at third. And Kansas City is up 1-0 in the third inning. Eric Hosmer now. His hitting streak at 21 games. Here's the ground ball to the right side. Fielded by, I believe that's Herbert De La Rosa. On to first. The run does come in to score. So an RBI for Hosmer, but no hit. And here is Castellanos. Castellanos with the ground ball up the middle. That'll drive in another run. It's 3-0, Kansas City with the lead. And Castellanos with the RBI. Middle of the third, Royals up 3-0. We move on to the fourth. Jace Peterson, 270 hitter, 5 home runs, 14 RBIs. Still facing the lefty here, Mike Minor. And Peterson drives this one to left. Gordon's going back of the wall. It's gone. Jace Peterson, I believe that's home run number 6 on the season for Peterson. And this one comes off of a lefty. Not bad for the left-handed hitter. Herbert De La Rosa steps in now, 243 hitter, 1 out, runners on the corners. This one's driven into center. That's going to drop in front of the center fielder. And a run's going to come in to score. Read well by the base runner. 4-2 at the end of 4. Minnesota cuts into that lead, looking to salvage a win in this series. Chad Bettis comes on now, a 3.34 ERA. He's going to be in for Alex Meyer. Facing Raul Mondesi Jr., who is 1 for 2 on the day. Runner on second. Mondesi ground ball to the right side, past De La Rosa, and it's overrun by Will Meyer out there in right. And that is an error, 3rd error of the ballgame so far by the Twins defense. And it is now 5-2. Brandon Drury steps in now, 286 hitter, 6 home runs, runners on second and third with 2 outs. And a ground ball to the left side through the hole, 1 run scores. And it is 6-2 with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Nicholas Castellanos now. Twins trying to avoid any more damage, but Castellanos is going to send one into the gap. That one's going to one-hop the wall. 1 run scores, another one rounding third, heading towards the plate. Here comes the relay, and it's not going to be in time. It is 8-2 Kansas City. And the Royals would go on to pummel us 14-3. Ezra Smith, the catcher, would have 2 home runs beyond the highlights that we even showed you. So 2 home runs for Ezra Smith in like the 7th to 9th innings, and we end up getting absolutely drubbed 14-3. The Royals pound out 23 hits on the day. They have a 4-run 6th inning, another 4-run 8th inning, and it was just bad all the way around. Kansas City gets the sweep at Target Field, and they are the team right above us in the standings, so that's not going to help us out much. Let's take a look at the entire Major League standings. We have not done that yet this season. The green is wild card number 1. The blue is wild card number 2. The yellow is the division leaders, obviously. In the American League East, the Red Sox, 6.5 games over the Blue Jays. The Rays are in third. Yankees and Orioles. In the Central, you've seen that one quite often. The Tigers are in first. Indians and White Sox would both be holding down wild card spots. And we are last, 10 games behind the Tigers. In the West, the Angels, 2-game lead over the Mariners, 4-game lead over the Astros, 4.5 over the Rangers, and 8.5 over the A's. Let's flip it over, look at the senior circuit. The National League East, the Washington Nationals, a 6-game lead over the Marlins. The Phillies 7.5 back, the Mets 7.5 back, and the Braves falling off the pace once again at 14.5 back. Remember, they lost like 105 games last season. The Cubs 28-14, 7 games ahead of the Cardinals. Pirates 7.5 back. The Reds and the Brewers. I mean, it's the usual suspects here. The Nationals, the Cubs, the Dodgers. I think they've won the division pretty much every time in this franchise. Dodgers lead the Diamondbacks by 3.5. The Giants and the Diamondbacks would be your wild card teams in the National League. So that's Twins franchise episode 181. Next up is a 4-game series against the Houston Astros on the road in Houston here on Mama's Basement Sports Gaming.